Welcome to MRU e-learning powered by Malareddy University. Today, I'll be presenting on the topic strengthening AI capabilities using deep learning. I'm Shailaja Midala, Assistant Professor in Department of Data Science, School of Engineering, Malareddy University. My presentation covers the contents, Introduction to AI and Deep Learning, and why deep learning strengthens AI, key deep learning techniques, and real-world applications of the deep learning, benefit of deep learning using AI, deep learning challenges, and future directions. So before going to that, first we will see about the difference between the human brain and the artificial intelligence. The human brain learns using biological neurons and gains the knowledge with the past experiences. Human excel at creativity, intuition, and emotional reasoning. Whereas coming for the artificial intelligence, AI learns using artificial neural networks made up of mathematical functions. AI excels at speed, accuracy, and scale computation. So now let us see what is machine learning. In real world, humans learn with their past experiences. Now, machine also challenges the human. Why can't I learn from the past experiences? Here, in the machine, the past experiences means training the machine with the data. So, this improves the performances from experiences and predict the things without being explicitly programmed. Here, the machine is challenging the human that if you are learning from the past experiences, why can't I learn from the past experiences? That is from the training data. Now, let us see the difference between machine learning versus deep learning. Here, we are giving the input, car as an input, where the manual interaction is there in between the input and the output, which is called as feature extraction. Here, the manual interaction where the feature extraction is collecting some of the input features like car wheels, shape, and edges and corners. Then it is giving it for the classification where the classification will classify all minute things and finally we will get an output with the predicted output that whether it is a car or not a car. Coming for the deep learning, here the manual and the classification is combined together. That means the feature extraction plus classification is combined together and it is giving the predicted output whether it is a car or not a car. So let us give this with an example of a movie example using Robo Chitti example where machine learning versus deep learning. In machine learning in Chitti 1.0, here the machine, the robo who is learning according to the scientist instructions, the scientist is giving the instruction for the Chitti to walk, to shoot and to practice. Here this Chitti 1.0 is using the rule-based learning. Whereas coming for 2.0, here Chitti is learning by its own, that is manual interaction is not there. It is taking the real-time decisions whenever required. So, example, microbots form shapes and adapt to threats automatically. In the climax stage where the Chitti 2.0 is making the microbots taking its own decisions and releasing the microbots according to the threats automatically. Now, let us see why we are using deep learning to strengthen AI. Here we have some of the features where deep learning strengthens AI. First of all, we see automatic feature extraction. So this automatic feature extraction is used in our day-to-day life for face recognitions where we don't have any manual interaction. Automatic feature extraction where we need feature extraction plus classification where face recognition, medical imaging and speech to text. Next, here every day we are using the ChatGPT and NLPs which are using ability to process complex unstructured data. Here deep learning strengthens the artificial intelligence. If we give any unstructured data to the ChatGPT, it will turn it into its understandable language. Whatever the human gives the text, it will be converting it into its understandable language. Then it will give us the output. So that is the reason we are saying that even the machine understands the complex patterns and unstructured data is also taken as an input. High accuracy and scalability. So we are seeing this high accuracy and scalability in the self-driving cars as well as in the fraud detection. Learning complex patterns for weather forecasting, we are using the deep learning mechanisms real-time decision making, we are using the robotic example. Again here, the robots are taking its real-time decisions at a time. Let us see some deep learning techniques powering by AI. So here we see some of the deep learning techniques like convolutional neural networks, recurrent neural networks and LSTMs, transformers, generative adversarial networks, GANs, and autoencoders. Now let us see one by one the functionality of CNN and GANs, transformers and etc. So now let us see here in the convolutional neural network, I am giving the input as one image where this image is given in the form of matrix. So here the convolutional neural networks only understands the input in the form of rows and columns. So that is the reason my input is given in the form of a matrix, that is in the form of rows and columns. Each and every pixel is moved to the convolutional neural networks. Here convolutional neural network is collecting only the edges of the image, the corners of the image, the important features of the image is collected by the convolutional neural network. Then from the convolutional neural network, we are moving to the pooling. Here, pooling is of two types, average pooling and maximum pooling. So here, pooling, what is the work of pooling here actually? This pooling will reduce the dimensions instead of taking the complete input image from the convolutional neural networks. Here, pooling is taking only some dimensions. So, this is divided into rows and columns. So, it is only taking some of the dimensions and again multiple times the convolutional neural networks and pooling mechanisms are applied on one image in order to predict the output. After multiple convolutional neural networks and multiple pooling layers, the output is classified to flattened layer, where here the input is converted into 1D vector and furtherly it is given to the fully connected layer, and finally we have a probability of representing the output like Donald is of 0.2, Goofy is of 0.1 and 0.7 is of TT. So here the probability of the predicted output 0.7 is more compared to the remaining outputs. So we can say now the image is Tweety. Finally, the probability distribution output is here. That is when we give the input as one image which is unknown to us by applying the convolutional neural networks as well as the pooling mechanisms. Multiple times it is made into layers and then it is given into the flatten. Then it is classified. Finally, we are predicting the output depending upon the probability distribution. The next deep learning technique is recurrent neural networks and LSTMs. In everyday today life, we are using this RNNs and LSTMs, but we doesn't know that it is RNN and LSTM. Every day when we operate our phone, we are using RNNs and LSTMs. So this is how. Now let us discuss. When we use the mobile keyboard, every day, let us suppose at 5 o'clock or any time, I'll be moving to the park or store or any gym. So every day, I'll be typing the message to my friend, I'm going to park or I'm going to store. So my keyboard is trained in such a way that it is taken when I type, I am going to. Immediately, it will type the next word. It will be showing me the next word. That is, the phone is predicting the next word, whether store, gym or park. So immediately we are clicking whatever we want and it is displayed on the screen. So we may get a doubt why this is happening. Without our typing, why the keypad is giving the words. So here comes the concept of RNN and LSTMs, where each word is fed into RNN and LSTM one at a time. The network remembers the previous words. It predicts the most likely typed words on learned patterns. Here, the keypad is using the learned patterns and it is predicting the next word before our typing and it is showing in the display so that we can directly select the word and there is no need of typing the word. So this is what the RNN. So we are every day using this RNN and LSTMs. Now let us move to the other deep learning technique, that is transformers. And now let us see how the transformer works. Here, the transformers, what we are using in our everyday day-to-day life is the main thing is Google Translate as well as the ChatGPT. These are the two things every day we are dealing with. But we doesn't know they are using the concept of deep learning with the transformers network. So here, let us suppose we take with an example, the input sentence is given, how are you? So here, the word is passed into the transformer model and I want this word to be translated into the other language. So let me suppose, how are you is translated into Spanish and the word how are you is given in this way. Next, let us see the ChatGPT. The language, here the ChatGPT is using the transformer technique again, where ChatGPT is built on the transformer architecture. The diagram shows ChatGPT symbol, transformer block. This indicates ChatGPT reasoning, writing and conversion abilities all come from the transformer neural networks. So whenever we are giving the unstructured data to the ChatGPT, or even when we give the figures to give the explanations, everything is converted with the help of this transformer neural networks. Then only it is giving us the output. So this is the way how we are using the transformers in the form of Google Translate as well as in the form of ChatGPTs. Now let us move to the other deep learning technique, generative adversarial networks, GANs. So here, what is happening actually with the GANs? Even GANs are also used in our life, like Ghibli Art is the new applications where we are enjoying by giving our input image and we are taking the Ghibli Art anime. Here, the input is the real human face which is given to the generator and generator creates the anime style features like eyes, hair, color, shading. Discriminator will check the realism and the structure. Then finally, it gives the stylish anime version of our face. So here, GAN-based human anime image conversion is seen here, where the human image is given as an input and different styles is shown by the GAN, where whichever we want, we are selecting for that. And finally, our image is predicted in the form of a stylish anime picture. In the same way, multiple images we are giving and we are finding the outputs. So the best example, the application what we are using now is the Ghibli Art Generative Anime app, where our image is given and in turn we are getting the stylish anime image. Next, we move to autoencoders and how autoencoders work. Here in the autoencoders, we are giving the input. See here, the input is blurry. Why this input is blurry? Why? Because to get the actual output, we are adding some noise to the input. So that is the reason it is blurry. So the workflow of the autoencoders will be, input is given as a blurry image, it is encoded and it is stored in the latent space, then decoded, then we get the final output. So now let us see what is the work of the encoder. So encoder takes the input as an image, then compresses it into small vectors. It will be compressing the image into small vectors called the latent space. It directly can't take the image. Why? Because everything will be divided into rows and columns. So this image is transferred into the latent space and later on this latent space will collect all the features of the input image. Then finally we get the output with the help of a decoder. Whatever the encoded image is given to the latent space, that is decoded by using decoder and finally we get the cleared image. First, our input is blurry, where see here our image is blurry and finally the output what we are getting is clear. That means we are adding noise to the input. Now let us see the real-world applications of deep learning. Every day in our day-to-day life, we use the applications of the deep learning. The best example is the voice assistants, where we give the input in the form of audio. It takes the input and gives the output according to our instructions. Next, coming for the other application, these deep learning mechanisms are used in the financial market predictions in the stock exchange market. In everyday stock exchange is mostly running on these predictions where we get profit or loss. Next, coming for self-driving cars. Nowadays, we are seeing the self-driving cars which is using the deep learning technology. The best example is the Tesla car. Without human intervention, it is driving on its own. Next, coming for agriculture education. Now, the AI and the deep learning are playing a major role in the agriculture education. Next, coming for climate modeling and environmental monitoring. Here, nowadays, whenever we see the weather prediction is done with the help of these deep learning mechanisms only. And next, coming for the environmental monitoring, where we see if there is any pollution in the environment, immediately it is giving us the caution by using this deep learning applications. Yes, let us move to the healthcare and the medicine. So here, deep learning is playing a major role. Let us suppose if we want to detect the cancer in the early stages, so early detection of cancer is not possible by using the traditional processing methods. Now, after introduction of machine learning, artificial intelligence and deep learning, it became very easy to diagnose the disease at the early stages. So, whenever the input image is given to the convolutional neural networks, by using that convolutional neural networks or many other neural networks, a disease is diagnosed and we get the output immediately. So, the prediction of the output is done accurately by using this deep learning applications. And next, we will be using this deep learning applications in fraud detections and spam detections. Next, some of the benefits of deep learning for AI. So, here we use it in the healthcare. Next, finance and trading, content creation, where most of the content creators are using this deep learning techniques. The best example is we use ChatGPT for the content creations. Next, NLPs, medical image synthesis, and virtual assistants and chatbots, sentiment analysis. Next, text generation, algorithm trading strategies, predictive market analysis, drug discovery, and in this way, there are many benefits with the deep learning. As we have discussed, deep learning is playing a major role in humans' life. Even though it is using the artificial intelligence, everyone are using these techniques. So next, moving for the deep learning challenges. Apart from the benefits and the more applications, we also have some challenges when we use this deep learning mechanisms. The first challenge is the availability of the data. So we will be having the lack of data. Why? Because we require a large amounts of labeled data. But there will be a scarcity in the data. So we can say that is one of the most important challenge in the deep learning. Next, coming for not optimizing hyperparameters. Here, hyperparameters in the sense batch size and the number of epochs and low learning rates. The system must take the low learning rates and by reducing the epochs, they have to predict the values. But it is not possible. That will be a most challenging thing by using deep learning. Next, security. When we are working on huge amounts of data, there is a possibility of threat of data. So providing the data security will be also one of the challenging. Next, issues with the multitasking. Even if we give multiple tasks to ChatGPT at a time, it won't give us the accurate answers. So that will be one of the disadvantage and it will be a challenging also. So that is one thing with the deep learning challenge. Multitasking, it cannot work accurately by using this multitasking mechanism. Next, so here we require high performance hardware requirements. That means when we are working with large amounts of data, anyhow we will be having the hardware requirements in a bulk amount. So here hardware requirements may cost more. This will be a challenging thing in the deep learning. Now let us move for the feature directions. Firstly, we see Cloud Edge AI integration, where smart traffic systems use edge cameras to detect the vehicles and cloud performs large-scale traffic optimization. If this is done, then we can reduce the traffic problems in the cities. Next, edge-on-device learning. Now, whatever the smartphones we are using and whenever we want to search for the data, whenever the face recognition is done, whenever we are using the voice assistants, we are taking the help of internet access. But this must be overcome. It is possible by using the edge and on-device learning. The next one, autonomous self-learning systems. So whatever the self-driving cars we are using now with the help of deep learning techniques, they are something lagging behind the navigation. So that must be overcome. The work is going on that. So that is autonomous self-learning systems. Next, energy efficient green AI, where we use the wearable health devices for continuously monitoring our health with low power settings. So it must use low power and it must be continuously monitoring our health. And with this, I conclude my presentation. Thank you for your attention.